Good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's little old me, Spirit Journey. Yes, woke up about an hour ago, just relaxing and playing a video. How you all doing? Yes, good morning, Tuesday. It is Tuesday morning, June 13th already, 2023. And my description I gave um, for today's live stream was pets could uh, develop a friendship or relationships. And yeah, I'm being a little playful today. Yeah, I'm in bed right now. Yeah, it seems like a while since I would wake up early in the morning and then do my live stream when it's still dark outside, which I prefer. I prefer that. But now, sunrise is coming earlier and earlier. Yeah, I would have been outside at this time. Oh, my little doggy sneezing. Yeah, my little dog. My little Lavin. Let's see if you can get him. Oh, you can't see him. Yeah. He's right next to me. It's still kind of dark in the room, so you won't really be too. He's sneezing. Oh, babe. Oh. Yeah, he was just under the bed, and he starts sneezing really bad. And then he comes out, and so I put him on the top of the bed, next to me. Poor baby. Yeah, mommy. Oh. Yeah, I feel, poor baby. He's looking at mommy. It's, o- it's okay, Labby. Yeah, you're sneezing. He looks so funny when he's like, when he's gonna just about to sneeze. He goes through all this facial expressions, starts sneezing. Yes, doggies could sneeze big time. You know what I think, actually? Like, I remember, it was just a couple of years ago. It was before the pandemic, as I call it. My doctor said, "Oh, is your dog sneezing and this and that?" I said, "No." I'm going to say it. I think these veterinarians give injections and they know ahead of time that this will develop, this will affect their immune system. I mean, this is a strong dog. The dog that just sneezing is a Pekingese. He is as healthy could be. Then now all of a sudden sneezing. Yeah, why is that? I mean, right now my windows is open. It's just cracked open a little bit. Can get feeling a little muggy at nighttime. So I leave it all cracked open. Yeah, the weather is starting to get warmer and warmer. And I don't do well in the heat, especially if it's stagnant heat. It could make me feel, excuse me, excuse me, anxiety. My body feel funny. So I find that when the weather's a little cooler, I feel more relaxed. I just put a cover on me. So I handle that. So I feel, that's what I feel sometimes, that they may be giving them so-called medicines and they're just waiting the time out to find out when these symptoms start coming. That's what I really believe. Or we ask if someone, I don't know. I know, it's good for doctors or vets to ask hey, you getting any of these symptoms? But it's almost like it's an expectancy. That's what I'm getting at. Good morning, viewer. Good morning. Good morning. I see you up there. Good morning. Good morning. I invite you to say hello in the chat room. I know it's been a while. See, it seems like a while since I do the early morning. Yeah, I've been getting up to go out and about with the gang here, my little fur babies. But sometimes I feel tired. Sometimes I want to give my legs a rest. Yeah, it feels oh wow, it feels like I did a marathon. Yeah, and I am doing the keto diet still. I eat proteins and fatty foods. Like I eat the coconut oil, and I bought coconut bits, whole coconuts, that's chopped up in bit pieces. Um, Olives I buy. My what do you call it? Apricots. Yeah, I have dried apricots. I bought it about a month ago. But I can take, I can still take like one or two. I'll be good in the keto diet with just one or two apricots, dried apricots, unsugared. And I have apricot seeds. They have a particular vitamin in it, and it's very preventive for certain cancers in the body. Yeah, you have in Afghanistan and Pakistan border um, a high incidence of people living past 100, and that society, they eat a lot of apricots, and apricot seeds in particular has this particular vitamin in it. I think it's B17, vitamin B as in boy, 17, if I remember right. Yeah. And any of you who know, you can say, indicate it in the chat room or in the comment section below if you know. But I think it's B17. And so I said, hey, let me implement that in my diet. So I bought the seeds about a month or so ago with the apricots, the dried apricots. But what came in the mail yesterday was my apricot oil. I bought the uh, organic oil, apricot oil, and I'll probably use it for salads, things like that. My skin, if it, see how that works. Yeah, yeah, just to keep her well-rounded. So, um, yeah. So what I want to talk about with regard to my dogs. Yeah, here my little doggy was sneezing. Yeah, um, having pets or dogs in particular, and you bring them outside for a walk in the morning, it's really interesting that pets and dogs, they could help develop communication and friendships with others. Yeah, I am a bit of a loner. I like to initiate things on my own. But I also like meeting people. And so I have my three fur balls, and I bring them to the park. And it's interesting the adventures that we have. It's really interesting the adventures one could have as a result of having pets. And so that's what I want to talk about, different things that could develop. I remember um, some parts of the Ramble in Central Park. I bumped into this gentleman, and he had one of those large. It's a mixed breed, but it's like a poodle mixed with something, and very playful. And it's interesting that the dogs would communicate. At first, because the dog was so, It was a big dog, but had a lot of puppy in him. And as time goes on, you get to share stories, share events with one another. And I like that. I mean, somebody can warn you of things. Hey, you heard about such and such on the news. During the COVID. Yeah, it was during the, oops, I'm not sure if I can say that word, the C word. And sometimes it'd be a while since we bump into each other. Yeah, I would get about a different hour back then. Yeah, it was, I think, a little uh, the colder seasons. But I remember, yeah, it was a while that we saw each other. And I remember there was some episode. Yeah, yeah, I remember now. There was some episode happening in the subways, and someone was on a rampage. Yeah, he was sharing that with me. But it's interesting, the people, um, meeting more and more people, different things. We have our lives. Yeah, I met another man, um, and his dog passed away. I remember seeing his dog. I remember him vaguely. I remember there was a little conversation, and the dogs are, communicating with each other. And then some time passes, and when I bump into him, he recognized me first. And he shared with me about his dog passing. And he was heartbroken, yeah. Some of our pets, he had one dog at the time. And I don't remember what happened, but he was heartbroken. And he stopped taking care of himself. Yeah, he stopped brushing his teeth, all other stuff. And when he saw me, yeah, I saw him about maybe a month ago, last month I think it was. And he was on the other side of the street, and I just see that if a man waved. I meet I bump into so many people, and it seems like the early crew, like I'm part of the early crew. We got first thing in the morning, and somebody see a familiar face, you just kind of nod or wave, hey, how you doing, And so I just saw he was one of those, hello, how are you doing, and keep going. But then I recognized who it was. He had his surgical mask on and a hat, and I didn't recognize him at first. And then I said, oh, and then I waved again. So he probably thought, okay, she may not have recognized me before, but said hello back. And then now she recognizes me. Yeah. So so he still comes to Central Park, which is good. Um, and he wasn't ready to leave. Yeah, things happen. Yeah, he's. I think it seems a little bit more relaxed. But I'm concerned for him. He had, let's see, yeah, um, he had said he's not ready to get another dog right now. But I let him pet my dog. Yeah, when things like this happen, they people rely on one another. When they get going through these periods of losing your doggy partner, and yeah, you let them pet your dogs. You talk a little bit. Yeah, I remember some time ago. Sometime last year, I believe it was. When I found, maybe it was early last year. Um, he had come up to me and explained who he was and what happened to his dog. And we were walking. Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, we had a long walk. Yeah, I think his that had just passed away, like maybe a week or so before. And I said, because I could tell that he's in duress, said, hey, why don't you walk with us? And he walked with us my whole journey there for that day. You know, like I do, you know, but I walk certain areas, and then I do my circuit, and then I go. So I felt like, hey, he's hurting right now, and he wants to be with dogs. So I said, hey, why don't you join us? That's how I worded it. And he came with us, and discovered that he was from Japan, and he came to the U.S. Some time ago. It's interesting, some of the people you may learn about from different parts of the world, and maybe assumptions you might think because people may come from certain parts of the world. And he's just like anybody else. It's interesting. He's just a regular guy. Um, I'm not sure what he does. Um, yeah, he's not anyone high end or anything like that. Very, very basic. And yeah, he came in on as a what do you call it? As a student. He got a student visa, and then they were um, allowed him to get another type of visa, and he's been here ever since. You know, he's probably like in his 40s or something like that. But we need one another. That's what I'm learning. Some of us may be loners. We have our little pets. We go to the store. We go to the parks or whatever. But even people who are loners, we need one another. We need that support. And so yeah, that's what I did for him. Here I have my three little dogs, and they're getting up there. And I say to myself, I want to enjoy every moment of my little fur babies. Because one day they may not, they are getting up there. And unfortunate, one of them, my little sweet pea, Lilac, the Shih Tzu, we had our wellness check. They had to get their dental. My dogs get their dental, and discovered that she has some type of growth in her right side of her jaw. And the doctor said, you know, it, she, um, the option was give her a biopsy, and if I do the biopsy, and if we find that it's the C word, I don't want to say the word, would you want to go through these chemotherapy? And I said, look, I know I wouldn't want to give her chemotherapy. And the doctor said, well, it's no, yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning out there. Yeah. So the doctor said, oh, it's no judgment call. There's no judgment call, Yeah, the doctor, the vet wanted me to know that my decision is my decision, and not to make me feel bad. And let me explore this a little bit. See, yeah, it shouldn't be any judgment call because um, I'm the one that would have to pay for it, and that my dog will have to endure it. And how I see with people, when people go through chemo, what happens to them? I know of someone that was under chemo. It makes you extremely. Your health is your business, and it's a personal one. What you decide for your path is your business, and um, all encouragement and power be unto you who decide whatever type of medical treatment. So, but for me, I felt if something's going to happen, it's going to happen health wise. But I do believe in preventives to prevent certain things. That's why I'm taking the apricot seeds. I don't know whether animals can take it, because some things are very toxic to pets, But I said to myself, we were given the options how to handle the situation. The X-ray cannot show what it is, but it's something. Um, and if it is that C word, would you want the dog to have chemo? And I'm thinking, sometimes people actually get sicker and die because of the treatment. And so I said, no, I wouldn't go through it. So she said, well, if that's the case, then I would suggest not to do the biopsy because if you're not going to do X, Y, and Z, why put the dog through pain? Because putting a needle in her jaw, it's going to hurt. And I said, I agree. But we decided to get a follow-up, in 6 months when she, to get her treatment. So that's what I decided. So I go out with all my dogs, and yeah, I love my little girl, my little Shih Tzu. She's the little peanut of the group. She is the little sweet pea, my little peanut. These are little pet names I have for her. She's really sweet, but she has a stubborn, Shih Tzus have a stubbornness about them. They do. They know how to manipulate. She does. She doesn't want to walk. She will, she'll refuse. She was always like that, even as a little pup when I first got her. Yes. So she's 13 years old now. So I say, let me just carry her. So I go to the park, and I carry her sitting up, like she's like in a cradle position, but sitting up in my arm, my one of my arms, and the other arm I'm pushing the stroller. And I say to her, I love you so much, and she really likes it. That some oh, I should upload the picture. Yeah, someone took a picture of my this particular dog. I put her eyeglasses on. They're like goggles, and it could get really sunny, and dirt can get in her eyes. So all three of my dogs have goggles. For dogs, and so that particular day I had it on her because the sun, because I was carrying her, like a little baby, sitting up in my arms, and someone took a photo and they gave me a copy. So yeah, I can upload that. It's really cute. Yeah, I could do a post on that. But when I look at her now, I said, okay, I want you to enjoy the moment. I tell her, I said, I love you. She's real laid back. She's enjoying. Yeah, she's spoiled. Yeah, she is. She enjoys just chilling out in my arms and seeing nature. She really seems to enjoy it. And I said, I want her to enjoy this moment. I want her to enjoy it. And sometimes I get a little stubborn myself. I said, you're going to walk a little bit today. You need a little exercise. Yeah, she's right there next to me. That's her. So that's her. She loves to sleep all day. She sleeps all day, and yeah, she loves that. She's always like that. Yeah, she is a little delicate. She had back surgery 2 years ago, um, and so I'm just very She almost choked some years back on a treat. So I'm very protective over her. I don't want to stress her out more. That's why. and the other two are more, very hardy and everything. So yeah, I'm very try to be gentle with her. I could be even more gentler with her, especially when I'm shampooing her hair and grooming her. Yeah, yeah, she's my little peanut. So yeah, I think health is a we all have to monitor our own health, and you make a decision. Yeah, I'm yeah. There's oh, what was I gonna say now? Well, something I know it's something with the treatment. If some people are getting, oh, I remember. Yeah, another reason why I said no to um, even considering the chemo for her, if that's what she had. She has some growth in her jaw, and but there was a story. This is an interesting story about resiliency and purpose, and this was one of the key issues why I said no. Um, this was a story shared on the internet by a doctor. He was a dentist actually, and he also had a degree in public health. And he's relaying a story about his own father. I think he could have been in the 70s or 80s, and he was still married to. I mean, still, his mother was also still. I mean, the doctor's mother was also still alive, and there was a decision that had to be made for them, one or both. No, I think it was just one of the two, to go into a nursing home. I just remember what the response was. The father said to him, "Please do not separate me from my wife, or don't put me in a nursing home, because if you do, I'll die," he says. And he died shortly after he was put there. But it turned out that he was riddled with cancer in his body, all throughout his system. And what was discovered was that, see, he seemed healthy before. Him taking care of his wife, people, this is a mind over matter. Now, this guy had, this older man, did have cancer, but he was so dedicated to his wife. His life had purpose. And so when he was being separated from his wife because of X, Y, and Z, he says, you know, doing that is a mistake. Please don't do it. But they felt, the family felt this was, a better health choice. But see, there's things metaphysical realm. When you have a purpose, when you're living for something, and you have that drive, and he had no symptoms. But soon when that happened, so I thought to myself with my dog, she acts healthy, I mean she's a very sedentary dog, but she could, at home she can walk, she's not under any distress. She's a happy little dog who manipulates mommy to get more treats. Yes, she does. Yes. Yeah. She's the exact same as when I got her 13 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I feel like, leave it. If she has it, she has it. If it's benign, it's benign. Keep her happy. Give her little treats when she, and get that fresh sunshine. This little dog, she too may have a career path, so to speak, a doggy path, that she has a purpose. and giving her happiness, getting fresh air, um, might be enough for her. And that's how I feel. And I feel that way for myself, is something like that. Um, well, I don't trust modern medicine. I'm finding a lot of incompetencies with the medical field today. I do believe in eating right. I've always been health conscious. I lived in a household where someone had a health condition, and it only gets worse over time. And I saw this all my life. So I've been always aware and try to do things that are preventive in nature. Nutrition, drinking plenty of water, and yes, we know that you could have all the best things in heart, and someone could still get sick. But that too might be part of your life path. Um, and some things I want to learn to embrace, like um, it, this type of society makes you afraid of the D word. I was petrified of it, and to some degree still a little scared of it. But my going to, seeing nature and going to parks, that it is a natural event, just like you have the season, you have the 4 seasons in life. For me to say, oh, I only want one season, it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic of me, because you're going to have ups and downs. It's how you handle those changes, those 4 seasons in life. And I have to um, embrace it, and I think if our society present the seasons in stride, that it's a natural occurrence, um, it'd be a smoother transition. And I prayed to the universe. I said, what my request was, Yeah, but I think it's okay to share your request to the Creator. Say, hey, okay, I would like a smooth transition. I like a peaceful transition. Speak it, and you might get it. So, yeah. So again, how about pets and fur babies, how they could help build relationships and friendships with people outside. Yeah, yesterday we went out, and I felt a little. It was weird. Yeah, I live in New York City. Those of you who don't know, I live in the Big Apple, and yes, New York City is going through a lot of changes, social changes, emotional changes. Going through that pandemic, as I call it, was very stressful for many New Yorkers. And so, yeah, during the pandemic, I still went outside. My excuse was walking my dog. Yeah, I kept on doing it. So, um, it's very therapeutic, very therapeutic. I mean, the dogs didn't know about the crisis, the so-called crisis, and if you see it as such, the media could, the media can take life away from you. I mean, it is so stressful. Yeah, I shared it. I'm addicted to YouTube. I love watching videos, but I have to really minimize. Um, I'm on the keto diet in my weight management and other stuff. I'm trying it. If it doesn't work well for me, then I change it. Um, so yeah, management, my blood pressure. Yeah, my blood pressure, I got checked all last year, and everything was cool until something happened this year, or late last year. So I'm not sure what it is. It could be I wasn't getting enough sleep, which is true, because I was staying up watching videos all through the night. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. Couldn't sleep, so I watched videos. They say sleep. Your body needs sleep. So yeah. So despite the fact I was going outside almost every day, walking several hours a day, um, for the first time, the doctor said your blood pressure is up. Never had it before. My cholesterol, but I do have good cholesterol too. My good cholesterol is high, and so it's compensated the so-called bad cholesterol. We have to be careful about good and bad. Um, your body naturally makes cholesterol. What happens, watch my finger, almost pressed the button by mistake. What could happen is that, what was that I was going to say now? Oh, brother, it'll come to me. I can't stand when you're in the middle of the sentence and you forget. I know I talk about good and bad. It's about ratios. And if you believe something is bad, it could become bad for you. Mind over matter, you know? But if you embrace your body, embrace what it does. Embrace what it does, your body. Is something really good or bad? Your body produces cholesterol, you know? Um, but yeah, everything in balance. Yeah, if it comes to me, what I was going to say about the cholesterol thing, I'll share it again. I can't stand when it does that. But yeah, so we went out yesterday, me and my pack, and I got a little nervous. Yeah, I mean, before I go outside, I give a little prayer of protection. Yeah, I was encouraged to do so about a year ago. I bumped into this lady. I think she had a dog also, and yeah, she I think she was an Afro Latino. I forget what she was. But she was a brown skinned woman. Um, but we started talking, and she shared with me that before she goes outside, she gives a word of prayer, of protection, of invisibility. I think that's what she said, of a shield of invisibility. And I said, that is powerful. Yeah. So before I go out, I give a prayer of invisibility to protect and shield us from those who want to harm us. Yeah, because there's a lot of violence that was happening here in New York City. All types of things could happen. And a prayer of invisibility, uh, even with accidents, robberies, anything. And so I do that. It's just something how she worded it. I said, wow, yeah, so I do a shield of protection and a shield of invisibility so that they cannot see us to harm us. Yeah, I do that every day. But in spite when I did my prayers before I went out there with my little gang, because I go out early in the morning, but today I'm here. Um, Someone was standing near the entryway of the building that I live in, a derelict. And I felt scared. I felt, yeah, he looked really weird. I haven't seen him before. Yeah, the interesting about a year, almost going on 2 years. This August would make it 2 years since the incident. Yeah, someone tried to attack me. They were hiding behind this gate right next to the building where I live. And when I made like 5 steps forward, I was leaving the building, talking to the concierge slash doorman, and he wasn't scheduled to work that day. Yeah, I have a good relationship with that particular individual, and I didn't know that it was starting to drizzle. And so we're talking by the door. I said, "Oh, I'll just go for it," you know, because talk about the it starting to rain. So I exit with my stroller, and I just made a couple of steps forward, and the man leaps over the tall fence, and he starts heading towards me with menacing steps. And my mouth dropped, and then I started walking backwards, back towards where I just came out from. And he's still following, approaching me. But what I didn't know was the doorman slash concierge was right there. He never closed the door. What I didn't know, see, some of us have uh, guardian angels watching over us. I didn't know that he was that. He's a good fellow. Yeah. And as I backed off, back towards the direction where I came from, I turned my head to the left a little bit to make sure I was heading right by the door. And then I see the door push open, and then he steps out, and he stood by my side, and we stood him down, the perpetrator. Yeah, I thanked the guy, the concierge, so much. Yeah, what I didn't know, he said, yeah, he said, I saw everything. He said, I saw it all. I said, yeah, the door, you were pushing open the door. He said, no, I wasn't pushing open the door. I said, I never closed the door. I was watched. I said, I watch you when you leave. I said, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, when you leave the building, I watch to make sure you go out. See, also, see, he wasn't scheduled for that hour. He comes on the next shift, but he was doing a double. He had to fill in. And that particular month, uh, that happened, the prior month, uh, the door wasn't being manned. Yeah, the person who was scheduled there on 3 occasions was not there. And so if what happened to me happened on any of those nights, if I leave the exit the door, I wouldn't be able to go back in because at certain hours it's kept locked. And you have to be buzzed in. Yeah, I would have been out of luck. Yeah, I tried to tell the super about that. Yeah, and the he yeah, when I tried to tell the super about it, that hey, this happened before, and luckily the other guy was it. See, that's a liability. Yeah, interesting. That particular super, um, yeah, he's been. I mean, I've known of him now. I've been in this building for 20 years. Known the concierge for 20 years. Same people for 20 years. And something was happening with that. Well, yes, something happened with that super. Um, yeah, he was to retire this past January, but instead he discovered he had the C word and went through both treatments, the chemo and that other thing that they get. Awful. Yeah. I think what could happen, I mean, it was really weird. Yeah, it was after January. Yeah, I had to go renew my lease. So I had to go to the office, and that's when I learned that he was to retire. I said, oh, wow. So I see him in the elevator like a month later, and he was acting bizarre. He was walking with a cane, and he looked wiped out. And he totally dissed me. I said, hey, so and so, I hear you retiring, blah, blah, blah. And he just ignores me. He said something, one or two words or something. Um, And then he says, because someone was behind me, yeah, there was a person, as I got, I was coming on the elevator and the super was getting off the elevator. And as I was about to get on, someone was standing behind me who wanted to exit. And so because I was talking to him, he didn't want to interrupt, and he would just continue on his journey. He was going to exit the building. But the super said, "Hey, so you going to ignore me like this? Blah blah blah." He said, "Oh, I didn't want to interrupt." Blah blah. He was being polite, and then he started talking. The super started talking to him, the tenant, and I thought, wow, this is something. Here, I know him for all these years, and what he complained about is what he just did to me, because he wanted to ignore me and just talk to the other guy about whatever. He wanted to complain to him about something. Yeah, so I go, I mean, he never done something like that. And I know I'm kind of getting off the subject, but it's about relationships. I think that's why I share it. And this whole thing is about relationships and dogs and stuff like that. Because I have he had a dog also. He had a total of three dogs since him living, in the building. Yeah, he was to retire, and then, he has his second home in another location. So he was to move, but he had to stay to get his chemo work, because it's nearby. But so I went to the front desk and said, "Hey, so and so's acting kind of different. What's wrong with him?" He said, I said hello, blah blah, and he just dissed me, and he looks different. And he said he has, the C word. My mouth dropped, and his wife has it also. The wife is very nice, but it's really something that here, yeah, because the last time I spoke to him before I learned about his condition, yeah, I saw him last year over the summer. Because remember, yeah, I spoke to him maybe July or August of last year, and I was being prepared to relocate. Remember, I was to move to Africa. Remember that, and it fell through. But yeah, you know, I saw him as I was about to enter the building. Yeah, we had a disagreement. Well, he said something. He was being very mean. Something. He snapped. I told him something, by the front desk. Him as the super would need to know. Now again, we've known each other for 20 years. And maybe I talked to him maybe about 5 or 6 times in 20 years, you just say what you need, any information, whatever, and that's it. Or you say good morning, whatever. That's it. But maybe 5 times I needed to talk to him. So that's not a lot. So I was shocked. He cursed me out. I was like, what? We all stared at him. He had this last summer. That might have been in June or something like that, or April or June. And then in August, I was I was preparing to move, and so I didn't want to have a grudge or anything. I said, okay, that happened, whatever, maybe whatever, going through something. And I shared with him, he seemed positive at that time. He seemed, okay, his old self. Then, let's say 5, 6 months later, finding out his condition. But yeah, he had dogs, and yeah, I used to walk in the neighborhood with my dogs, and I would see him or his wife and just say hello. So again, it gives a sense of community, and something that chills out people. When you have your pet, you know, sometimes work. I guess his work was getting stressful to him, and the dogs help that relationship. Yeah, that's what it gave a positive spin on things, and that now he doesn't have a dog. Yeah, He doesn't have a dog now. His dog passed away. Yeah, some breeds don't live long. He had, I think it's called a boxer or something like that. Um, but yeah, he had three of those dogs, and so I think, having pets could add a little balance to help encourage us in our relationship with others, whether they be your tenants or people that you live with. It helps out. So anyway, yeah, I kind of off the subject, but anyway, yesterday, um, when I went out, there was that person hiding, well, I should say, standing by the entrance. It's a wall, and you can't see behind that wall. Um, it's designed like a canopy. It's to give you shade. If it's raining outside or snowing, as protection. But at the same time, it's a safety issue with people who want to rob you. Yeah, they hide behind there. So when I exited, the new, you know, the doorman concierge, um, who was there that day, yesterday, he's not as protective. Put this down. Yeah, he he was he's not as tentative as my buddy, and so he closed the door. He closed the door real fast. He opened. He didn't seem to want to talk. I just said, good morning, and then he closed the door real fast. And then when I go and turn my head, I see the guy hiding behind there. I was scared. So I walked really fast and went in the street. Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. And so I just felt uncomfortable. Yeah. And once I went on the main avenue, there's an area where they have cops now. Yeah. I think I shared with you guys that we have these hotels that house the so-called migrant workers. Yeah, activity. Yeah, some of the guys, they hang outside by the bikes. I just see trouble ahead with it. Nothing wrong with people legally entering the country, or if you're refugee status, you go through the process. You go through the legal channels, but now, when New Yorkers do, when cities like New York City do it, is to destabilize. It's a lot of destabilization that's happening in New York City, a lot of it, and it gets me worried. Now, I've been in this neighborhood now for 20 years, 20 plus years. Been in Manhattan for 20, what was it? Yeah, 20 years in the neighborhood, 21 years in Manhattan. But I'm born and raised in New York City. I'm from Queens, New York. It's another borough. But even back then, you live in Queens or something like that, but you work in Manhattan. That's how it goes oftentimes here in the city. But either way, so I hurried along and I had to pass by that hotel that's housing, the migrant workers, and a group of cops there. Yeah, there's a lot of more police presence. But I get to my destination, and yeah, I had met someone. It's really, yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Little uncomfortable. I mean, I guess it's a process. Again, having our little pets, our little fur babies going outside can help bridge the gap. And even with potential relationships, boy-girl relationship, um, I got to this point in the park that I go to, and yeah, it was his dog. Yeah, it was his dog that spotted my dogs, and it still has a lot of puppy in him, and he was doing that thing with when they crouch down low because they want to play, and that was the introduction. Yep. And so my little boy um, came to, say hello. And then my little girl, Lily, Lily's right here. That's Lily. Yes, she's sleeping. Yeah, that's Lily. And she came out of her stroller. Yeah, my girls, Lily and Lilac, they're both 13 years old. And they like to stay in the stroller. I have this doggy stroller. It's really nice. And they go in it. I walk all three of my dogs in it to the park. But when I get to the park, I take them out. But my girls, they don't want to really walk a lot of times. So so I put them in there, and if they want to jump out, they can jump out. But my boy, he loves the action. So my little boy, my Pekingese, greeted the dog first. And so this was going on for a couple of days. Let me tell you, yeah, I met the individual, I think it was not last week, but the week before. Yeah, two weeks ago. And my little boy, it was really sweet. Yes, I think it was on a Monday, two Mondays ago. I saw, yeah, 2 weeks ago Monday, I saw the individual for the first time with his dog. It was really cute. And then I see him again on the next day. But I have to admit, I felt a little like my mind was like wondering, like sometimes you try to figure out somebody. Yes, I get like that sometimes. Like, because he seemed at first very distant. Like something was occupying his mind. But to fast forward a little bit, we will bump into each other for 7 consecutive days. And I started to look forward in seeing him, a little small talk, and eventually, he says, "Hi, my name is so and so," and I gave him my name. And so that was like after maybe 6 consecutive days of talking to him until, because it's interesting, because I said to myself that when I went out that particular day, I said, oh, if I bump into him, I got to find out about it, who he is, and his status. I mean, is he married, not married? So I said to myself, I'll notice his hands to see if he has a wedding ring on or something, a wedding band. So I'm going, and again, his dog, I guess his dog has better eyesight than my dog. He noticed us at a distance, and he started to react, the little doggy. Yeah, little doggies could be potential matchmakers out there. Yeah, yeah, it was cute, See, some dogs are really innocent, and sometimes people could be shy, Um, yeah, matters of the heart sometimes I can actually be very shy people, very, very shy. And so I noticed his hands, and then interesting, yeah, this got really more personal. And it turns out that he has a child, a little 4-year-old. And he mentioned something about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, something. Everything was happening rapid fire. That particular conversation, that particular meeting was like rapid fire. The conversation, the info and the dog's interaction, like, it was brief but concise. It was very concise, this meeting. And I had to process it all. I had a process. But it's interesting that, see, sometimes things are for a season. And so that was like on a Thursday or Friday, and then I think I bumped into her again the next day. And I remember, I asked him about the thing with the what do you call it? Yeah, why he got his dog. Like, he got his dog a part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, I've heard of that organization, of course. Of course, I've heard of that organization. But I was curious, and I guess I didn't really go deep with it, because that's private, that's just what he wanted to share. He wanted me to know he has a 4-year-old and something about his dog. So, and he got it through something through the Make a Wish. Those of you who don't know Make a Wish Foundation, like someone with terminal illness or something like that, and it's like a one last wish. And then I remember him saying that the children love him, love the dog. So he may bring this dog to visit children. So I'm not sure whether uh, his relationship to the organization, was this a loved one that happened, something happened to his loved one? Was he married before? What happened? Had the dog a couple of months ago. Yeah. So so my mind is processing things, and something when you meet someone, he like at first the first 2 visits, it was just neutral. He's on his way somewhere. We're going in opposite directions, and I'm going where I gotta go, and and it's early morning. So I didn't really see anything, of it, because there's plenty of people walking with their dogs, joggers and all that. And not everybody you really stands out, you just say, how you doing, But some of the people, what was happening here, it seemed like potentially getting more interesting, if you know what I mean. Yeah, because it's like clockwork. So I had to like look at my watch, what time it was. Yeah, and it's always the same time. So I said, okay. So he's someone that's very punctual. He's evidently leaving the house at the same time, and I'm leaving my house at the same time, And then we boom, bump into each other at the same time every day. Uh, but I started to feel, yeah. Let me share you this, people. Let me share you. I hope you guys could hear me. So I leave my house. This is like last week, Sunday, and I asked the universe. I said, I call the universe, the benevolent one. Or sometimes I say universe. Or some people use the word God, whatever, creator. I said, look, I'm bumping into this person now, and our conversations, we're learning more about each other. I said, look, if it's not meant to be, then please close the door. I said, look, I'm not ready to, kind of fall in love with somebody and then, nothing come out of it. I just didn't want that stress on me, and I think I was just getting nervous. I was getting cold feet. Yeah, it's good to share about cold feet. Yeah, I think I was getting a little cold feet, a little anxiety. But I said it because I felt that something, um, I don't know, I guess processing everything. So I leave that day to do my walk as usual. And yeah, oh yeah, I remember I said, if it's not meant to be, that I will not bump into him today. But if I do bump into him, then he would say X, Y, and Z. That's how I did it. So I didn't see him. So I said, okay, universe, didn't see him, and just keep on going. And then the following day, boom, I see him again, like clockwork. And I said to myself, what was that? Don't just stay relaxed. Don't make any fuss, whatever. And act in stride. And our dogs start playing. Want to talk to each other. Again, the dogs could be a bridge. Your little fur babies act as a little bridge. But I sense it was a briefer encounter, But the dog, yeah, his dog wanted to play. His dog was really acting up. Jumping, jumping. Yeah, his dog, he has a big dog, like a large puppy. You know, it's a mixed breed, like a poodle and something else or something. You know, it looked like a giant poodle, but still very, very much a pup. He's like 8 months old, his dog, so it's a pup still. And then he goes. And I stayed in place where I was. And yeah, he's walking all the way down, and I'm watching him walk away. And then all of a sudden, he turns his head, and he sees that I'm looking at him at a distance. And he turns his head back. And I hope I didn't make him uncomfortable. But you know, sometimes you turn your head and see who's behind you, or you know, take a look at somebody, right? So I didn't change my head. When he turned, he was like maybe 200 yards away. You know, when he before he turns his head around, and I kept my head. I stayed in the same position. I didn't change anything. And then the next day, guess what happens? Yeah, um, yeah. This is what happened the next day. After that, um, so I'm on the road, and I'm thinking, am I going to bump into him? Well, he wind up on the road, like there's a road that's right beside, that runs parallel. It's like a detour. Like I'm on the main road, but then there's another one. It goes, um, curves away from the main road. It's like a scenic route, and it runs along this water. And he was there with his dog. He took a detour. He took a detour. And I see him, so I just innocently, wave, a brief wave. That yes, I see him. I didn't want to pretend I didn't see him, so I just said a quick hello, and kept on going. We just kept on going, and I said to myself, "Wow, he's is he? Did he get embarrassed, or is life telling him the same thing, that it's close the door? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it something?" Isn't this something? Yeah, it was just getting so, like, going on the second week. So maybe my feelings felt a little, but I told the universe. I said, universe, if it's not meant to, you know, then close the door. So when he was on the other side of the road, the detoured road, um, I took that as a sign also. So I kept on my journey, my usual, where I go. But I felt a little bit more like I wanted to get back home. I think inside that maybe really did bother me. Um, and so I didn't want to, I felt a little funny. See, I don't want to feel uncomfortable and walk. So I took a couple of days off. And luckily I did, because that's when it had, remember that red sky and the pollution thing? Yeah, yeah. So it's really something. Yeah, nature was in distress. You had the fog or the smog that was out there, and the sky was red. Yeah, and it was starting to rain a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, the air condition, what do you call it? The air quality for those 2 days that I took it was really bad. Yeah, I didn't know that it was going to be bad, the weather. But when I woke up that morning, I said, I'm going to stay in. Yeah, luckily I did. So I took some time off. Um, but yesterday, I see him again. But he was at, yeah, I left a little earlier than usual, just a little. But I said to myself, I said, I don't want to make this more difficult for others. You know what I mean? I, especially matters of the heart people. I don't want to make it difficult for him or myself, you know. Um, so I left it, I mean, I left the time that I wanted to leave, you know. Um, but I didn't stay. Like sometimes I like to stand and look at the water and all this and that because it's really nice. I said, no, let me just go straight to where, the destination where I want to go to. And by doing so, I probably won't bump into him. Well, uh, I see him at a distance, him entering the park with his dog. And I said to myself, yeah, he probably saw me. I said, keep on going. Keep on going. I could have like stopped and waited for him. I said, no. Um, so that's what happened. So I did my walk. Went to the place I wanted to, but I didn't stay long. Yeah, I did my circuit, but I just didn't stay. Yeah, my legs are hurting these days. I mean, I do the same walk every day, but it's getting tighter. Yeah, my legs are hurting. Like it needs to be stretched out. Yeah, I don't know why. Do the same thing every day, but that's what's happening. Yeah, I think maybe like sometimes when you walk slower, maybe the act of walking slower with the stroller is putting more um, force on the legs and exercising the leg more or something. But it is tired, my legs. So, yeah, so I decided, okay, do a quick circuit and then leave. And so I left. I took, yeah, I actually took the road to exit. Yeah, I wanted to just get, oh, I almost forgot. Almost forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so yesterday when I was walking, I wanted to, because I saw that person by my apartment building that was hanging out by the entrance of the door, the main entrance, I just felt anxiety. So I walked quickly to my destination. But when I arrived at the park, there was this very shady looking character. That's what, yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, it made me feel more anxiety. Yeah, we have a lot of high crime happening in all over the city, and there was a rape in Central Park. Um, so there was a shady character. Now there are people that might look kind of shady, but they're harmless. And I'm trying to figure him out. He was maybe 50 yards away from me. Um, and he had these bags on the bench. But he looked, I don't know, like I see him in the corner of my eye, and I just felt uncomfortable. So he said something to me. I just wanted to avoid him. Uh, and he said something, and then I said, "What?" I said, "What?" twice. What is he saying? He could ask me a stupid question. Hey, uh, do you know where the tennis courts are? This guy doesn't look. Why would he ask me? This is early in the morning. Why would he care where the tennis courts are? He got all. He's a what do you call it, like a homeless guy with his paraphernalia, bags and stuff like that, just hanging out at the park. I felt that he wanted to, like, what happens sometimes with criminals, that they want to test you. They want access to you. And part of the way how they get access to you is to make a connection, to ask you something, but it's all a farce. I don't know the right terminology, but it's just to get in your circle, so to speak, to make an excuse. And so I said very harshly, I don't know. He should know where it is if he's hanging out at the park. But it's just I felt uh, that he's stayed. Like they want to, like they might think if you can get them to talk to you, then you can get closer to them, the target, and then maybe attack you. And that's what I felt. and I felt stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna use the stupid word. I felt stupid because I really like, um, I should have just kept going. Don't, because I knew he said something to me, but I didn't know. I should have just pretended I did not hear and just keep on going. See, sometimes when you say nothing, they know, okay, she ain't talking to me. She don't want to be bothered. Her guard is up. Her guard is up. So when I realized that, so sure, I shouldn't have said anything. That's all that they need. So that's what happened. So I kept on going. After that, but I hurried. Yeah, my little boy, my little doggy. Uh, the girls were in the stroller, the boy was out, and I started walking real fast. No, he stayed where he was. He did not venture, but it just got my guard up. Yeah, I felt uncomfortable. And so, yeah, so I was ahead of schedule. And so when I got to the part where I would bump into that guy, the guy with the little dog, yeah, he was near, near the entrance. I saw him at a distance, and I decided for me just keep on going. So that's why. So I was just a little edgy. So I did my circuit really quick, and so I said, let me just leave early, yeah, because I still felt a little uncomfortable because of the guy that I thought was trying to set me up, whatever. I said, let me just get out of the park. So I wanted to exit early, near where I was, rather than going the whole other distance to get out of the park. So let me just get out of the park now. So I said, let me go and take this exit. And this was the exit that this guy with the dog that I was bumping into for a week or so would enter in. So I said, let me just exit this way. The street is right there. So I took it. I said, I said to myself, I hope I don't bump into the guy. But that's what happened. I took a chance, and but instead of bumping into him, I bumped into two other people that I knew from the. But again, it's how you meet up, how doggies could really um, initiate conversations and friendships, whatever, good or bad. But yeah, I decided I wanted to do something a little different. So I said, let me exit out the park, this location, and I bumped into this woman with this dog name. I could give the name of the dog. Yeah, I don't know the lady's name. But yeah, I used to see her uh, walk her dog. We'd be walking in. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think in different directions. Yeah, I think we were also walking in different directions. Yeah, yeah. It would be different directions. So, um, yeah, I usually see her when I'm leaving. Yeah, that's right. I'm leaving the park and she's, I guess, entering whatever. So yeah, her doggy is also very, very friendly. The doggy's name is Poppy. It's a girl, and she is a Havanese, like my little girl here. But Poppy has curly hair. And she's so playful. Poppy likes to go on her side. Some dogs, they do this surrender pose. I don't know the correct terminology, but I call it a surrender pose, meaning they don't mean any harm. So they lie on their back to expose their belly, which means I'm harmless, guys. I want to make a friend, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what happened. The dog could recognize us. Yeah. The dog has better eyesight than ours. Yeah. My dogs are 13 and 10. This one is maybe 2 years old. Yeah, so she still has a little pup in her. And so Poppy recognizes us at a distance. And so Poppy was um, Yeah, yesterday, running towards us. And I said, that looks like Poppy. Like I recognize, when you become a pet owner sometimes, you're walking your dog, you recognize the dog before you meet, you recognize the person, at least me. You know, I'm not good with faces. But I recognize the dog because, you know, the doggy has, you know, certain personalities. Oh, that must be so and so. Yeah, I'm not, I'm that way. I'm being honest. Yeah, so Poppy came to greet us and we're talking. And it was really interesting. Um, yeah, that particular owner of the dog um, could be very distant. Yeah. Um, yeah, she's very distant, and yeah, when I first saw her, um, maybe a month or two ago, it's like she didn't want to stop. She didn't want the dogs to engage. I didn't know whether she was afraid of me, but she seemed very distant. Like she didn't want to be bothered. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, we gotta, you know, she even said one time, we gotta go, really, really rush. But yesterday, you know, we were talking a little bit. So I explained to her. I said, yeah, she said, "Hey, you usually don't leave at this section of the park." I said, "Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I told her that earlier there was a man, a very savory looking guy. He looked like trouble, and I told her the incident, and I said I feel kind of foolish that I feel that he was trying to set me up and trying to get in my circle, so to speak, and um, I feel that he might have, you know, I didn't want any problem. And so I said, you know, I just want to avoid him in case he's still at that location. I don't want any connection with that person. I don't want to get harmed, whatever. I said, even though it's right by the main walk, you know, everybody's walking there, but I just want to avoid her. She says, oh, okay, yeah. And just a little chit chat. And then I met a second couple. Yeah, it's really something. Yeah, so we were like talking for like maybe 10 minutes, and then another couple came by. Yeah, these are people, it's a husband and wife team, older, um, and they like to bird watch. They had their binoculars, and they're interesting to talk to. Yeah, I met them like a year ago. Yes, 1 year ago I met them, and they're interesting to talk to. So when I take my time in the park, that's when I see them. But when I'm early, you know, want to just do a quick, you know, sometimes I want to just do a quick run. You know, maybe I have to go to the store or something. I want to get a quick. I don't want to stay out too late. Yeah, I try to. Yeah, because now the weather's getting hotter, and so me and my dogs don't do well in the heat. So I try to speed things up sometimes. But yeah, so they were just entering in the park, and so you know they pet my dog, and then they left. They didn't stay long at all. But interesting. So after that, you know, I'm finishing up the conversation with the first lady with Poppy, and all of a sudden the lady says, "Oh, that's my husband." She didn't. I don't know. That'd be interesting, people. Yeah. I never heard. I mean, it was weird. And immediately I'm thinking, is this a what do you call it? Stalking? You know, she didn't seem comfortable. You know, she didn't seem happy that the husband. She said, "Oh no, that's my husband." So I turned, you know, see what she's looking at. I said, "Okay, God," and he's looking. He's not even looking at her. He's just walking in. And then I said, you know, let me get going. And then she started walking with the guy, but it was weird. It was like if she's you know, because it was considerable amount of time that we were talking, me and the lady with Poppy and her husband. So I'm thinking, why wouldn't she leave with her husband with the dog? and he just seemed weird. I hope she's okay. I mean, I hope, it's interesting. Sometimes some relationships could be one of control, and the person may want to keep a distance. I don't know. I hope yeah, I hope she's okay. But yeah, I wanted to share that sometimes, when one door closes, others open up. And it was interesting. It was that particular exit, like the the two couples. It's a connection with that same. It's the same exit that they enter in. These three people that I both, and it's coincident that it's a tight connection. It's really something. It's I'm not going to say the name of the entrance, but it's I call it a lucky number. It's a nice number. I didn't know that was the number, but it's an interesting number, and how we're all connected, and we're connected, primarily our dogs. Well, two of us have dogs, two, but the third couple, yeah. So it's actually, let's see, one, yeah, two, yeah, three different three parties. Two of the parties have dogs and one doesn't. One are the bird watchers. The bird watchers don't have the dog. But all interesting that we're connected though, and coincidentally, that it is this. They all enter the same place. I had no idea where they entered from until the until I saw the guy last week where he entered from. Yeah, yeah, and I think it's something, people. When with the first guy I was referring to, that it's like for a week and a half week period that we keep bumping into each other. A dog, his dog likes my dog. But only when it's interesting that um, I had left a little earlier, and I saw where he entered from. See, a lot of people who go to the park, you don't know where they enter from. And I saw it, and I think maybe his, how do you say, privacy. It's like when you enter the park, it's like everybody has anonymity. We all have anonymity upon us. Anonymity. You could be whatever what you want to be. No one knows where you enter or leave from. You're just there for the moment. You're there. You have an experience with each other. Through our dogs or bird watching. It's a freedom that you have. You come and go. And that's how I like it actually. You come and go. You have your experience. It could be very positive. It's for the moment, and it's really something. And it's coincidentally all three people that I meet, all three, all enter the same location. That was a shocker. And I'm wondering what does this mean? Each of them are different. It's really the different age. Well, I guess we're kind of like in the same. Yeah, we're all over 40. I could say that safely. I think we're all over 40 years of age. And but it's something, the intensity, the conversations that we have, and the emotions. And again, it's the guy, the last one that I met, now going on 2 weeks, my first encounter with them. Um, yeah, your dog, having a little fur ball could help initiate friendships. And again, sometimes it's just for a season. It could be for a short season, or it can help you expose you to what like um, shyness. You might realize, wow, you're shyer than you really thought, you know? And sometimes things could help, to help develop you, to help you speak or interact with people, don't be so shy. Yeah, things could happen. So yeah, I did give that prayer that a week ago. I said, benevolent one, if it's not meant for me to go further with it, because it's like clockwork, and you start to feel, I think both of us started to feel uncomfortable. And again, his anonymity, because I found out where he entered from. Yeah, and that was last week and early last week, and I waited, because he's right there, just across the street from me, on the other side. I know he's coming. Yeah, so I say, hey, how you doing? It was brief, and just let the dogs engage. Yeah, but his dog like my dogs. Yeah, it's something that sometimes little animals are friendlier than people and can develop you to um, encourage you to talk. And again, it could be just for a season, just to let you know, hey, there are other people out here. There might be people who want to meet other people, or maybe who want to meet a lady or a gentleman. Just let you know, hey, I'm here. Yeah, yeah, with technology, with the internet and everything, people, we're not engaging as much anymore. We're not talking as much. We're afraid. So, and sometimes I get afraid. Sometimes you get, because you don't know where to, you don't know where someone's coming from. Um, and people used to go out more in groups. Back in the day, people had groups of friends, and you go out collectively, and so you have a safe zone, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? You have a safety net, so to speak, because you have a group of people with you, and you're all intermingling with each other, socializing. But now things are more one-on-one. And even like we have all these coffee shops, even the coffee shops, you got tons of people, but no one is talking to one another. No one. You are talking to people through your device, your phone, your social media. But we're becoming detached from human beings to the actual one-on-one, human to human, in person, face to face. Face to face. That's what's being eliminated now in society. Face to face. And I think it's sad. It is sad. And hear me, I love going on YouTube. I love looking at videos, and I love talking now. I used to be extremely shy, very withdrawn, but YouTube helped pull me out and to be able to at least talk. But it's good to also exercise meeting people face to face and having your little doggy woggies, your little fur babies, could help bridge the gap. And that's the whole point of my doing this live stream. Um, Learning to do face to face, and the beautiful creatures of the animal kingdom, the canines, could really be man's best friend or lady's best friend. Yeah, they are. They could be sensitive, they could be playful, and they could help bridge the gap between man and woman. And I think, because interesting, because the gentleman that I met, you know, he said very proudly, was a week and a half ago, he says, "My name is so and so." Very boldly. He was very bold. Cause I got the name of his dog. Cause I was too shy. Cause I didn't want to be forward. So I said, "Oh, what's your dog's name?" Cause I gave him the name of my dog. Oh, this is my dog, so and so, and cause I introduced the three dogs, and then I said, "What's your dog's name?" And so he gave the name of his dog. So the next day after that, I gave the name of the dog. I said, "Hey, hello, so and so. How are you today?" And the man didn't like that I didn't ask him his name. Evidently, he says, "My name is so and so." And then I said, "Oh, my name is," you know. I didn't want to be. So, I think I think there was a chemistry developing, but I'm really I don't want to start something that I can't finish. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't mean it in a vulgar sense. I don't mean it to be sound vulgar, and I don't mean it that way. Well, maybe a little bit, but not really, not really. Um, you want to take things slowly, and it's nothing wrong of just having a friend, a friend of the opposite sex, but to realize that certain chemistries could be fostered, and are you ready? And again, remember what I mentioned earlier in this live stream about this gentleman that I met. He has a child. He has a 4-year-old. He shared that, and something about the Make a Wish. So, was there a recent passing of a loved one? Yeah, because Make a Wish, that organization, that is something, when someone's time is, they're going to pass away soon, they have a disease or something, it's terminal, and then you can make a wish, and then they give you that wish. And something with the dog. His dog is part of the Make a Wish. So who was the wish for? Is the wish for someone that passed away that was close to him? So I felt funny. And I didn't want to ask him who was the wish for. That's none of my business. He shared about, he wanted me to know, because see, because we kept bumping into each other, and I think the chemistry started to develop. And I don't want, I don't believe in, I would never want to marry or get involved. I mean, I would never want to get involved with a married man. No, that is, see, I'm very old fashioned. I know if I were married, I would not want anyone to mess with my man. No, I'm real, one man, one woman. I'm real old school that, you know, don't don't flirt with married man, stay away. Stay away. That's not my style. But that even though someone might be taken, let's say they have a girlfriend or something, that sometimes the human nature, sometimes there is an attraction. An attraction is an attraction. You don't, um, it it's not something that's made up. It's something that is either there's an attraction or not. And so I wouldn't want to be attracted to someone who's taken, you know. So that's what I mean. Try to find out about the person. I was curious about the person. I initially was very like, I don't know, it was weird. Yeah, he was like, he seemed distracted, and he wanted to go, but his dog was jumping around. Yeah, he got a big puppy, and he likes my dogs. Yeah, he wants to talk to my dogs, social with my dog. And that's what initially happened. That's how we bumped into each other. And I only started leaving the time that I do because I want to beat the heat. Yeah, it's actually very, the reason behind a lot of things I do is always for a reason, but not knowing that the, the outcome of that initiate, that action is going to lead me to something else. Had no idea. Yeah, yeah. But sometimes I like the variety of things. Sometimes it's good to change up things, and that man might have just wanted to change up things because it's like we bumping into the each other all the time with the dog, and he may want to just get a good walk with the dog because it's still puppy, and it scratched him. Yeah, the dog is very hyper and wants to play, you know. So, and especially if he had a significant other that recently passed, yeah, because he got because um, the the dog is about 8 months old or something. So, so the dog can't be more, so the make a wish was a recent wish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wouldn't want to, if someone is hurting, so let's say he had a wife that passed away and he got the dog to, part of the make a wish for somebody, he's taking care of the dog, you know. So I know maybe it's still sensitive. And so I want to respect that. I want to respect that space. Yeah, so when he said about the make a wish, I said, I better be careful. I don't want to, when someone, when someone has a loss, you may not want to rush into finding something, and getting a little pet is a great way to bond to something else. It's a safe, could be safe, and you get exercise. Yeah, just like the other person I mentioned on my spiritual journey, going to the park with our dogs. Yeah, someone that I met them over a year ago. Yeah, and then one day his dog passed away, and he was in deep mourning. So and he liked my dogs. He liked petting the dog. I said, "Hey, why don't you come with us?" Just like that, and he walked with us. We just it was completely platonic, completely, you know. Um, and he shared with me where he's from. He's from a different country. Um, yeah, so I think it's okay if in the mourning process, mourning over your pet, hey, you can join us. Sometimes they still come to the park because they still want to be with animals. And I really wanted to help him out because he seemed like a cool guy. And so, as a therapy to him, I say, hey, you can join us and walk with us. And that's what he did. And once in a while, I bump into him, say, hey, how you doing? Give a brief hello, and he'll keep on going. Yeah, he's getting better, I think. I think he's getting better. Yeah, he had avoided, yeah, I mean, not avoided, he was neglecting his hygiene. Yeah, he was that depressed. Yeah, some of us who lose our significant, our little fur babies, you get in a deep depression. And I asked the universe, I said, universe, whatever what it is, when it'll be, please prepare me. And again, I did mention that my little girl has a growth, a tumor in her jaw area. And we decided that we won't do the biopsy, uh, or if it's that C word, no chemo. And to keep her happy, she said, look, because to go through the procedure of the biopsy would put her under so much duress. I said, so me and the vet said, um, just wait it out. She's happy, and come back uh, in a couple of months for a follow-up exam, and we go from there. So I want her as happy as possible. This is my little peanut. That's Lilac. The little yeah, she is the Shih Tzu. Oh, look at her. She's rolling over. She's really sweet. She is a sweetie. I love her to death. I feel that I feel that she's teaching me things. She's teaching me to, mommy, just let go. I mean, just relax. You you don't always have to be stay busy. Like she likes to sleep all day like this. Yeah, she'll sleep all day. She's always like that. She's 13 years old. She's always a cuddle ball. You know, she just likes to just curl up. You can hold her like a baby and watch videos. But I also know with her that she likes her free time too. She likes to just be by herself also. Yeah, she can occupy herself. Yeah, she's that type of dog. So I give her space. Sometimes she just wants to curl up by herself and just chill out. And other times I say, no, you're gonna sit on mommy's lap. Yeah. But yeah, she takes things in stride, but she is sensitive. Yeah, she doesn't like her toenails clipped. Yes, mommy made a mistake. Yes. Sometimes you might clip a little bit too low. Oh, I feel guilt. The guilt I have. Yeah, she's a good girl. Yeah, she's laid back. And then my other dogs, my Pekingese, he's a go-getter. He is a go-getter. Yes, he likes he likes um, he likes action. So he's teaching, mommy, come on, let's go out. I want to go and meet other doggies and all that. And I want to bark, bark, bark. Yeah, he's very earthy. He's very alpha male. He's very protective over me. Very, very protective. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah. And then Lily here, that's Lily, she's my first. She's a Havanese. She's also 13 years old. She has a lot of energy, but she's teaching, she's the most human, she acts the most human out of all my dogs. She is a doggy of the heart. It's really interesting our relationship. She actually reminds me of myself. She, she, um, she's personable, but she wants attention. She wants attention also. She's my shadow. She is always by my side, always. you know. But I notice now, well, for the past year, I would say, um, she doesn't do as much walking, and she wants me to carry her. Yeah, she does compete, I think, with little Lilac here, this dog. She doesn't like walking. She likes to be carried and everything. And even though she's very agile, Lily, her name is Lily, this one, they have a niece. She wants me to carry her. She's, Mommy, I want love too. Carry me also. It's really interesting. Yeah, she shadows me, um, and she's getting more internal now, like more introspective, like how I am. I get very introspect. Yes, very much so. She feels things, and sometimes I feel she's crying at like in her sleep. She sounds like she's like whimpering, and so I rub her on her back. I say, "Oh, what's wrong?" And she's asleep, and I'm wondering what is she dreaming about, and I want her happy. Lily, my Havanese, she has my heart. Um, I want her to know that I love her. I tell her, I say, I love you. I love you, Lily. Yeah, I look her in the eyes. Yeah, so I feel like, I wonder whether we have a past life together or something. Something deep in her eyes. When I look in her eyes, I wonder. Because I feel she's very connected to me. I mean, she shadows me everywhere. But I think it's something deep. I think she's representative of something about myself, a quality that I need to tap onto to understand and be healed from. Yeah, yeah, that's what I honestly feel. That uh, her indication that something is bothering her in her sleep. Maybe because sometimes she'll yeah, I'm gonna share this. Yeah, I noticed she does that. And any of you who are dog experts or understand dog nature, or you had a dog that did the same thing, like as I shared with you guys, I like um, I like watching videos, and Lily is always by my side, but sometimes she wants to get down, and I'll put her down on the floor, and then she'll go in the middle of the room and like she'll bark, and I'm wondering what she wants. And I know she wants something. So I get out the lounge chair and I pick her up. I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? So I might check to see if she needs more water. I check a water bowl. You know, everything is okay. She has her water. Yeah, oh, sometimes she'll want her food. She might want to eat early. But I'm really wondering, like sometimes it's like she just goes in the middle, you know, and like she wants something, and I feel she wants me, and um, I think she like we watch the videos together. She wants to go to bed. I think sometime, but it's like might still be sunlight outside, and I think she wants to retreat. Says, "Mommy, come on, let's go." Sometimes I go. I say, "Okay, okay, I'll turn it off now," and we go to bed. And yeah, she loves going to bed. Yeah, yeah, she like going on the to the bed, but I really want to know what's going on. Do any of you ever have dogs? And does your dog all of a sudden wants to get down and then go in the middle of the room and like "Woo," and like she's trying to communicate. She's trying to yeah, I it's really something that Lily here. I even though she's my shadow and she's I think very much like me. She wants people happy. She wants to make me happy. You know, she wants to. Sometimes I might get down on the down kind of down in spirit, and she wants to keep me up. Mommy, come on, let's play, let's play. Yeah, she's very playful. The Havanese dogs are the playful dogs. Yeah, I got her because of it. She was my first dog, and I bought a dog book about the different breeds of small dogs and their temperament and all these other things. And I chose her because her nature is very outgoing. They were like circus dogs. So I said, I'll get this one. So she is true to the breed. She's a happy dog, but sometimes I think she's sad. She's mom, mommy, come on. Yeah, I think she's trying to encourage me. I think so. I think so. And so, yeah, sometimes I can't, even though she's my shadow, I find it hard, um, tricky to really understand her English, so to speak, her dog language. But this dog here, oh, I understand her. Yeah, that's a Shih Tzu. Her name is Lilac. I understand her. Even though she's not my shadow, she likes her space, but I feel I understand her. I understand her dog English. Oh, yes. Mommy, please fill up my bowl with water. We ran out of water here. Or, Mommy, I want to eat. Or, Mommy, could I have some of the food off of your plate? She's very, I understand her. And this dog, my Pekingese, he's my protector. He's straightforward. He's an alpha male. I understand he's what you see is what you get. That's him. Love him to death. All of them are different. And it's interesting that this chemistry of the three different personalities of these dogs. Yeah, I like to learn Lily's, the Havanese, her dog ease, or we call doggy English. I need to understand her more. Yeah. I need to better my communication with her because I know she's trying to tell me something. And I think maybe what she's really trying to tell me is, Mommy, let's play. Let's get together. Let's even though she's on my lap, whatever, but she, I think she she had enough of the video. Mommy, let's get away from this thing. See, even she has more sense than I do. Even little doggies, Havanese, have more common sense than some adults like myself. Get off the damn boob tube. Yeah, yeah. So that's why also I try to see. I know that when I get home, I feel tired. My legs, I'll get really, really tired. And even though now I'm doing the keto diet or trying to get into ketosis, um, my legs are really tired. I feel very tired. And so I stay out as late as possible, you know, 3 hour, 3 to 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours, and sometimes even 5 hours we're outside. So I want to give them the opportunity to at least be outside. They don't have to be walking all that time. I have them in the stroller. When they want to just a ride, I put them in there. Sometimes I encourage her to walk, because I want her to get some exercise. Because yes, we were gaining weight. We had gained weight. Yeah, because in January we stayed in and we ate, just for that month. And then February we went back to our walking routine. But some weight is hard to get off. Yeah, and we're all getting up there, and we gotta be mindful what we eat. Oh, almost forgot. Yeah, with this health thing that I'm trying to do. Yeah, I bought. It came in the mail yesterday. Yeah, my deliveries came yesterday. I bought this device. It measures your ketone levels. Yeah, when you do the keto diet, that primarily is you eat a high fat and protein diet. You're virtually eliminating your carbohydrates, like you're not eating rice, potatoes, um, what else? Starchy bread, grains, beans. You're staying away from that, and you focus more. You can have a little bit, maybe 5% of your diet is carbs. You need some carbs. So you focus more on the fats and the proteins, and that your body, like when you're in a fasted state, your body naturally produces ketones. And the reason why I'm doing the keto diet, I did about a little over a month now, I've been focusing on this diet. Um, I'm not obese, but I was getting some health issues evidently. I went to the doctors earlier this year. I was developing high blood pressure. Uh, my fat, what do you call my lipids, blood lipids were going up. They said, I had a new doctor also, new doctor, but it didn't look good on paper. Oh no, it didn't look good on paper, and so I was a little concerned. And yeah, I was also to get surgery, oral surgery that is. So I had to be prepared for the surgery. I can't have all this stuff going on if I'm going to get a procedure. So I thought to myself, hey, it's a condition like diabetes runs in my family. Okay, it runs in my family, and I don't want it. Yeah, I was getting a little tummy fat also. Yeah, I was developing a little belly fat. Yeah, it all started in January. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's why I like to do the walking, to try to walk it off. But I wanted to hasten a little bit. And I was thinking, well, with the well, what happens when you go into ketosis? Um, your body starts to utilize your own natural body fat, belly fat. It starts to use your body fat as fuel for the body. And it also helps your mind think very clear. Um, yeah, it's supposed to be better for memory. Because I was finding that I was, I shouldn't say forgetting things, but that recall. Like I remember like X, Y, and Z, but I didn't remember the details or the time. I see that it's changing. Yeah, you gotta be honest with your health when things happen. You know, be honest with what's going on. Don't avoid it. You know, so okay, this I noticed this thing happening, and so you know the memory recall, developing the belly fat, um, developing high blood pressure, the lipids. That is all a red flag for developing diabetes and the like. You know, and I said no, I don't want that. So I figured, okay, let me see a lot of things with diabetes. Something with the fat tissue slash adipose tissue. You know, the I think it's called interstitial fat. It's the deep fat that's in your belly, deep in the belly. It's the fat that's covering your organs, like your kidneys, your liver, inside there. When it gets really high in fat, um, it, a resistance, insulin resistance starts to occur. Yeah, and also you get in the tummy fat because of the carbs too and stress. Like, like with ladies, when you reach menopause, um, cortisol levels start to change. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and that stress hormone may increase your blood glucose levels, and so a constant supply of blood glucose in your to stay in your blood causes a stress on your system, and that your body produces the insulin to deal with that blood glucose, because the glucose is to feed your cells. It's to get into the cells. Yeah, I know I'm getting kind of scientific here, but either way, okay, not to get too scientific, but either way, stress hormones could result in females, and you start to develop belly fat, and that could trigger um, diabetes. And so I said, hey, lose the tummy fat. Hey, utilize the keto diet, and having that belly fat be used as fuel for your body, and it has other benefits as well. So that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, so I bought the device. It came in the mail yesterday. You blow into it, and it measures how much of ketosis you're in. Yeah, you don't want to get too high in ketones because that's not healthy either, but at a safe level. And I want to utilize this aspect of ketosis to uh, use it as fuel for exercise, things like that. So that's my plan. That is the plan. So I have to calibrate it today. You use your device. Use an app. It comes with an app. You download it. You download it to your app to your smartphone, and you do a reading, and it has like a Bluetooth to a component to it. So your app picks up the reading of the device, and it lets you know certain things. You know, if you're in ketosis and all that, how much, so you can monitor it. So so um, so that's what I'm gonna do. I already drank my water for the day. Um, that's what's happening with me today. You know, so I didn't go out, as you can see. Stayed home. As you see the clouds, look at that. Looks like it's going to rain big time. Yeah. So I just wanted to sleep in late. Who knows? Or maybe I might go outside later on. But yeah, I just wanted to take it easy. Oh, I have to give him a bath. Yeah, I already did the girls. I have to do him. I have to give him a bath. But yeah, I'm a little bit behind. 2 weeks behind. I was to do him 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I was tired, and yeah, I get tired. Mama Bear gets tired. Yeah, I do the walk. I was supposed to do it after the walk, but I was exhausted. So since I'm home now, I could maybe try to do him this morning. Do him. Yeah, he shouldn't be too difficult to do because his hair is relatively short. So I have to comb out the knots and give him a nice shampoo. Yeah, he hates it. He hates it. But yeah, yeah. So each of these little doggies, they're very special, and they are an asset to your life. Yes, doggies are special because they know you better than you know yourself. I think, especially Lily. I think Lily knows me. Yeah, she's my other half, and she's trying to, I think, encourage me to do certain things. Hey, come on, let's get away from that computer. Yeah, when I'm on even though it's a nice lounge chair that I go on, she don't want to stay on it for too long. Yeah, I mean she'll stay on it for a few hours. She said, "Mommy, let's go. Let's go to bed." I think that's what she wants. But yeah, she's a little bit more challenging to understand. But my little Shih Tzu, she got me pegged. She knows me, and she knows how to talk to me. She's very direct. So, yeah, doggies could help buffer in relationships, meeting people, meeting people of the opposite sex. Yeah, because me and that other person, I was getting nervous, and I think he got nervous too. What I was talking about earlier today, yeah. 2 weeks ago, I met this man. For almost 2 weeks, we were bumping into, yeah, for seven consecutive, no, was about 7 consecutive days, we were bumping into each other at the same time. And I asked the universe, hey, universe, because I see that we're both sensitive. I know I'm sensitive, and I wouldn't want to get my heart broken. And if someone is grieving, because I told you guys, he was under this thing, this Make a Wish, and Make a Wish. That's when someone is terminal and they make a wish. He got the dog a couple of months ago, and he uses it. I think he brings the dog to meet children. So this Make a Wish thing, I guess, a part of. He mentioned about the Make a Wish, and I just wanted, I just let him talk and share what he wanted to share. I didn't want to get in his business. But yeah, they help break the ice, and they also could be used to warn because I bumped into those two other couples just yesterday. Just yesterday, it was something. All three people, the man that I bumped into, the married couple, and this other lady, they all enter the park the same entrance. And it was the entrance that for the first time I wanted to exit out of the park because I didn't want to see that there was this homeless guy that I felt was trying to size me up to um, do something. And so I didn't want to go back there. So I wanted to exit at an early exit so I could avoid him. And that's all it was. And yes, all three, it turned out, use that entrance. And I think it's something. It's something. I don't want to give you the number, but it's an interesting number. Very interesting. And I wonder um, what it all means. All three of us are connected through that entrance. Again, I mentioned about anonymity in the park. We all come in different areas, and we could all be who we want to be in the park, but you don't want to get too, you don't want to, it's like knowing where someone lives, when you know where they enter. You don't want people to really know where you enter the park. You want that sense of anonymity and free spiritedness. And I think in part that's what could have happened with the guy, with the Make-A-Wish dog or something. Yeah, yeah, that anonymity. When that happened, when I saw where he entered, I think that was like, yeah, it is really weird. So either way, so that's me. That's the conversation I have for today. Yeah, we all need each other. It's good. The social media, or I should say, the computer and stuff like that, could be a tool, a healthy tool. But we have to remember, and sometimes our doggies would tell you, "Mommy, it's time to get off the phone or the computer, and start dealing with life and human beings." Yeah, yeah. So that's all that I want to share. I know it took a long time to get there, but see, everything's related. And some of the things that we encounter are things that may seem unrelated, but we are all connected in some way. We are all connected. And let's remember that and be good to one another and pray for one another. Pray for people who may be going through things, hardships, or, you know, people who had loved ones who passed away. You know, let us pray for one another. So I thank you for this opportunity to talk to you guys this morning and share your thoughts about your little doggy woggy experiences. You could do so in the comment section below and share your thoughts. And those of you who like this human touch of a conversation, those who want to support it on my channel, you can do so by PayPaling me. And to do so, you just go to my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the banner, on the right-hand side of the banner of my channel, you see the My PayPal Me link. Just click on the link and follow the prompts. Any amount will be greatly appreciated, or you just want to give me a thumbs up or a hello. That's just as good. What you feel comfortable in doing and letting me know that you hear me, that we're on the same page, that you like what I'm sharing. Yeah, my videos is about the human touch, about sharing from the heart. We all have different belief systems or ideas, but it's just sharing those ideas and yet still respecting your ideas and your experiences as well. Each one teach one, each one encourage one another, and lift oneself up, one another up. Okay? Thank you again. Peace, love, joy, and harmony to you all. Until next time, guys. See ya.